The moon hung low over the Wyoming creek, silver light spilling across the water. Marcus Thorne stood frozen, hands inches from his gun belt, a rifle barrel pressed firm against his back. Then came the whisper, soft, steady, cold as mountain ice. One more step, and you're dead. He didn't move. He couldn't. Behind him was no outlaw, no hired gun. It was a woman, a stranger with grief in her voice and vengeance in her eyes. Why had she come for him? And why, in that deadly standoff, did Marcus sense something more? Something that would change both their lives forever? If this story already has you leaning closer to the screen, you won't want to miss what comes next. So go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with a friend who loves a good Wild West tale. It helps more than you know, and trust me, this one is worth every second. The creek whispered over smooth stones, the only sound in the still Wyoming night. Marcus Thorne crouched low, reaching for a handful of cold water, when the air shifted behind him. Then, steel pressed against his spine. Her voice cut through the darkness, sharp but quiet like a knife sliding free of its sheath. One more step, and you're dead. Marcus froze. 38 years of cattle trails, gunfights, and hard living had taught him the difference between a bluff and a promise. This woman's tone left no doubt. She would fire without hesitation. Slowly he raised his hands. Moonlight revealed a figure in men's clothes, dark pants, weathered boots, a hat pulled low. But the voice betrayed her, soft and young, yet edged with loss. She studied him with steady hands on the rifle. You Marcus Thorne? His throat tightened, but his answer was calm. Depends who's asking. I'm asking. Her stance was firm, her breathing measured. Not her first time holding a gun. Whoever she was, she had come with purpose. Marcus understood one thing. This night wasn't about cattle, land, or money. It was about something far heavier. Her rifle never wavered. Moonlight caught her face just enough for Marcus to see the fire in her eyes. You killed my brother, she said. The words struck harder than the gun barrel in his back. Marcus had killed men before. Rustlers, claim jumpers, men who had forced his hand, but never without cause. Still, the weight of her accusation pressed down like a mountain. Your brother have a name? He asked carefully. James Fletcher. The name hit like a stone in his gut. Fletcher had ridden onto Marcus's land 3 months earlier, waving forged papers, claiming water rights that weren't his. Marcus had refused, and Fletcher had gone for his gun. Marcus had been faster. Your brother drew first, Marcus said, steady but low. I know. Her voice cracked. She blinked hard, fighting tears. That's what makes this so hard. For a moment the rifle trembled in her hands. Marcus caught it. Hope flickered. She wasn't made of pure vengeance. She was grieving. What's your name? He asked softly. She hesitated, then spoke. Catherine Fletcher. The creek bubbled between them, carrying their words into the night. Two strangers bound now by blood, by death, and by choices that couldn't be undone. The silence between them shattered with the sound of hoofbeats. Distant at first, then louder, faster. Multiple riders driving hard through the night. Catherine's rifle twitched as she glanced toward the noise. Expecting company? Marcus's jaw tightened. He knew that rhythm, spurs clinking, saddles groaning. Garrett brothers, he muttered, and they ain't coming to talk. Her eyes narrowed. What do they want? My land, my water, same thing your brother came after. But he was just their pawn. Catherine's grip tightened. Doubt flickered across her face. She wanted to hate Marcus, wanted to believe he was lying. But the hoofbeats drew closer, and she saw the urgency in his eyes. They killed your lawyer, Marcus pressed. Killed the assayer too. Anyone who could prove those papers were fake. Your brother was just their tool, and now you're their last loose end. The night exploded with gunfire near Marcus's ranch house. Flames licked at the sky as shouts carried on the wind. Catherine flinched. See? Marcus said grimly. They're not looking for justice. They're looking to bury us both. Catherine swallowed hard, the rifle shaking. Vengeance and survival clashed in her heart. She had to choose. Kill Marcus or trust him. The creek's cold water splashed around their boots as they moved upstream, shadows clinging close to the banks. Behind them, riders shouted, their torches throwing wild light across the valley. Catherine's breathing was quick but steady, too steady for someone new to danger. Marcus glanced at her, surprised. She wasn't just some grieving sister with a gun. She knew how to move, how to stay silent, how to survive. A lone rider cut across the ridge ahead, his horse tethered near the tree line. An ambush. Marcus cursed under his breath. "We're trapped," Catherine whispered. "Not yet." His eyes narrowed. "Can you shoot better than your brother?" The question stung, but she didn't flinch. She raised her rifle, ready. Marcus's hand brushed his own holster, then paused, drawing his Colt would give them away. Instead, Catherine reached into her coat and pulled out her brother's revolver, offering it to him grip first. For a moment, they locked eyes, hunter and hunted, now bound by necessity. Marcus took the weapon, its weight familiar. "Stay low. If shooting starts, cover me." She gave the faintest nod. For the first time since they met, the barrel of her rifle wasn't pointed at him, but at the enemy ahead. The ambush never stood a chance. Marcus slipped through the shadows, striking fast. The rider ahead fell without a sound, his horse and rifle now theirs. Catherine covered the creek bed with fierce precision, her shots crisp when the second outlaw closed in. By dawn, smoke still curled from Marcus's ranch, but they were alive. Alive, and bound by a truth neither had expected, trust forged in fire. Weeks later, testimony brought the Garrett brothers to justice. Catherine stood in the gallery, no longer hidden in men's clothes but in a blue dress, dignity in her bearing. Marcus watched the judge sentence the brothers to hang and felt the weight of the past finally lift. Months after, on a small spread in Colorado, Marcus rebuilt. Catherine joined him not out of obligation but out of choice. Together they found something worth more than land or cattle, redemption, and a chance to begin again. When neighbors asked how they met, Catherine only smiled and said, "It's a story about choices." And that's the tale of Marcus Thorne and Catherine Fletcher, a story of vengeance, survival, and forgiveness on the frontier. If you felt the tension of that creekside standoff, or the hope that grew from it, then this channel is where you belong. So hit subscribe, tap that like button, and share this story with someone who loves a powerful Western. Until next time, keep your saddle ready and your heart open to the stories the frontier still has to tell.